Good morning. Good to see everyone. Excited to be back to work. We had morning practice today. Gave our guys a couple days off this weekend. Wanted to get going. Have a little bit longer practice than what we normally have on a Monday. Excited, pleased with what we had going on last week during Bulldog Week. We wanted to accomplish some personnel evaluations. We wanted to correct maybe some schematic issues that we saw during the first third of the season. And then, of course, give an opportunity to our players to continue to get healthy and to sustain their health as we move forward. Getting ready for a really good Nevada team. Coach Choate, someone that I've known, have great respect for what he does, how he does it. You can tell they're very well coached. They have some very talented young men on offense. The quarterback is one. I mean, he has 250 yards rushing. Can hurt you both with his legs, with designed quarterback run game, but also with his arm. If you're not real careful in the pocket, he can take off and scramble on you. They got a number of different backs. I think their backs have combined for over 500 yards rushing, big tight end, and really a solid offensive line. They got 4 returning vets and guys that I think are going to cause some problems for us. And then on defensively, I think they're 2 defensive ends and they have a couple D tackles. This might be one of the better defensive lines that we've played this year. And so from a protection standpoint, we got to be ready. They'll bring pressure from all over the place, play multiple different coverages. So EJ, our skill kids are going to have to be really locked into what it looks like pre-snap. But again, excited to get back. This weekend was good, probably good for our coaches as well. But at the same time, this is what we do, and I was kind of chomping at the bit to get back here a little bit. Excited to be home. Hopefully we can have a packed Valley Children's this weekend. I don't think there's any concerts or anything else going on in town, so hopefully everyone comes out to the game.
And you have momentum, Coach, in that Hawaii game. You had a whole week to try to digest it. What do you think was the best thing that happened that your team can take away from that team victory?
I think I said it earlier. I think after the game, complimentary football. At some point during that game, that game feels like it was eons ago right now. All 3 phases had to play, we had to lean on each phase. We had to lean on our special teams. We had to lean on the offense. We had to lean on the defense. And so, and we talked about that from the get-go at the very beginning of the season, that it's not always going to be the way we diagram or the way we think it's going to happen. And there are other good coaches, there are other good players out there, and sometimes you got to play through the tough times.
And you mentioned Coach Choate. I know you're familiar with him. A lot of your staff has gone up against him at one spot or another. Is there something that stands out over those matchups, or something that you're going to have to be ready for because he's on the other sideline?
Well, I think very well coached. Fundamentally, tackling, blocking, tackling, all the things that you talk about. Sometimes they're the things that are the most overlooked. I think they do a really good job. He's been at numerous universities on the West Coast. From Washington to Washington State to Boise State, now at Nevada, was at Montana State for a number of years and really got that program going. So does a good job. His staff does a good job. You can tell the kids believe in what they're doing, and I know they're going to have a ton of energy and they do a really good job on special teams of making you work really hard. You got to defend every play.
Coach, is there any update you can give us on Braden Walton and any other personnel updates?
Braden was out there today, not necessarily practicing, but moving around a little bit. We'll keep our fingers crossed at this moment right now. But otherwise, one of the goals of Bulldog Week was to get people healthy, and I think we're, based on the energy and the excitement and the execution today, I think we're trending in the right direction.
Bulldog fans are used to seeing Nevada run that pistol offense. Is their quarterback running coming from that at all, or how would you describe their run game?
It's a 12, 11 personnel, a little bit of pistol, but in the gun. And again, they're doing a really good job of arcing people. There's always someone that they're reading that they're not blocking. They do a good job, and it's a numbers game. You could call it triple option if you want. That's part of me. That's kind of where I went back to the minute I saw it. It's not much different than old school wing T, just out of the gun.
And could you expand more on their D-line and how that impacts their run defense?
I think just look at the number of TFLs. I think they average 2.5 sacks a game. Both their defensive ends do a great job of squeezing the pocket. They got their D tackles. They kind of build a wall together. We got to stay out of those definite, get back on track or third downs where we become one-dimensional. So it's going to be critical that we get the run game going early this week.
Thank you.
Special teams play Dylan Lynch. He's had some weeks where he's been nails and other weeks, including at Hawaii, where it's been a little bit inconsistent. Did Coach Baxter or you have any message to him to sort of stay on track?
Just keep doing what you do. I mean, there's a lot of people in the athletic world that have bad days. I'm older than most of you, so a lot of you probably don't. There was a guy by the name of Michael Jordan that occasionally didn't shoot very well, and I think they just kept telling him to keep shooting. Or if Kershaw didn't have a good outing, they're still going to come back to him and keep throwing, right? And so that's what we told him: just keep doing what you're doing, narrow down on the details, and he hit the one that we needed. And again, he's going to continue to be better. We're going to continue to lean on him. Dylan knows he's better than what he did at Hawaii.
Kavion Thunderbird with that pick six to seal the win. What did you see on that play?
Well, you're asking me something that happened a long time ago. I think we got the quarterback off his spot, forced the ball to get out quick. I think he was trying to throw hot, and Kavion kind of just stepped in front of it. And again, Hawaii, very good football team. Scary passing attack. You saw this last week. I mean, they just went off, in their opponent that they played. So we're glad that one's behind us. We're ready to move on.
Coach, how have you seen senior safety Jaden Davis really grow and improve just a few weeks in?
Continues to learn the system. That was the challenge for everybody early in the season was, or even going back to last spring, was new vocabulary, new system, new way of doing things. From a communication standpoint, he is a guy that really does a great job out there. Understands the finer points, the details, wants to make sure all 11 players are on the same page, has continued to make plays for us. There's some areas that he needs to continue to improve, but he's trending in the right direction, and I love the fact that he loves being a Bulldog.
You mentioned wanting to get the run game going earlier this week. What was it that wasn't working at Hawaii?
Well, I think the holding calls was the thing that wasn't working. You go back and look at film, about 60 yards were lost on 3 holding calls during the course of that game. So, again, not to cry over spilled milk, but, we block better, we get our hands inside, we trust our rules and principles. That's when our run game works the best.
What is being implemented in practice to limit those penalties?
It's fundamentals and technique. Just being, and again, you can't get too upset during those because those are all subjective. What one ref thinks is holding, next week he might not. The things that we got to control are false starts, illegal formations, illegal procedure, anything that happens pre and post snap that we can be involved with. Those are the ones that really get under my skin.
Coach, we heard you use the term Bulldog Week. Mind maybe expounding exactly what that is?
Well, I came in last week to our team on Monday, and I asked them all, hey, everyone here has played baseball tournaments, basketball tournaments, and you have a bye. What does that mean? Well, it means we have nothing. Well, that's not what we were doing. I didn't want anyone to come into this room thinking that we were just off that week. And so we called it Bulldog Week. We were emphasizing us. We were the priority that week. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Bulldog Week 2.0. But it's an opportunity for us to clean some things up, continue to get better, and just focus on our football team, and because that's the one that's going to beat us the quickest.
Can you talk a little bit more about the Braden Baldwin injury? It looked like he injured his knee in the Hawaii game, but never really got a report. So maybe.
Well, he's up on his feet right now, so we're hoping to get him back.
Was it a knee injury?
We're hoping to get him back.
Okay, so nothing right now. Can you say about it right now?
I don't think that's pertinent information right now.
Right, and big Fresno Fair start this week. What do you know about it, and anybody plan to go?
I know nothing about the Fresno Fair. I think I saw a commercial about it maybe this weekend, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get out there.
Hey Coach, good morning.
How we doing?
Good. Nevada has some really good edge rushers. They rank top 25 in the country, 9 and 32. How important is it for the offensive tackles to try and eliminate them or limit them in what they can do on the field?
Well, I think you answered the question right there. It is important that they, we got to have a great protection scheme. We got to be able to control the rush. And again, if we can run the football, because they want to earn the right to rush the passer, and so we have to be able to stay in those, second and short, second and medium, third and short type of down and distance, so we don't give them the ability just to pin their ears back and go.
Are you expecting a hungry Nevada team coming off a few losses that maybe they weren't expecting to lose earlier in the year?
I would, knowing Coach Cho, they were going to be hungry regardless if they won every game or not. So we're going to be ready for their best.
And anyone in particular take a step forward in this Bulldog week? Anyone that kind of took leadership and made sure that everyone was on their P's and Q's despite not having a game last week?
You know, there were some young players. Mordecai Hines had a really good week. We did a lot of Bulldog versus Bulldog, kind of our young guys versus young guys during the course of the week. He was one that stepped up. I'm trying to think of some other guys right now. That would be, you know, Harold Duvall continues to elevate and show himself. I thought Carson Conklin had a really good week. He got a lot of the reps, especially when we were good versus good last week, again, trying to develop him. You know, Logan Goodspeed, another big guy that at some point this year or for sure in the future, we're going to have to lean on Noah Way, a defensive end that's a really good player for us. You know, and then, you know, continuing to get guys healthy, get guys back is what was good to see some guys just back at practice and back in the vibe of execution.
Coach, having a week off of being in game environment, how does the team come out with the intensity they have all year?
I think that's probably a little bit my responsibility, just to make sure that we practice at a high level, but we also need to make sure that they understand the expectation, the standard that we've set. You know, we've been able to play okay football along the way. You know, your standard is what the least you're going to accept, and they know what that standard is right now. And so I think we have a good group of seniors and a good group of veterans that are excited to get back to football. You could tell by the buzz in the room this morning when we had our team meeting that they had a good weekend, but I think they had missed the competition, they had missed the practice, the camaraderie of a football locker room.
And being able to evaluate the team, did you also have a personal evaluation of what stood out from the games that you played so far?
Just, you know, probably a number of things. I probably did it more positionally. Kind of gave some different position groups things that I thought we needed to continue to work on, things that I thought could negatively impact us potentially if we didn't have an opportunity to fix them. Some of them were schematics that we had, or plays that we had maybe we saw early in the year. Again, it's a copycat sport. If you struggle to defend something, you're going to see it. You struggle to pick up a pressure, odds are you're going to see it again at some point until you prove that you have fixed the problem or come up with a solution, probably better.
Coach, some of us saw you on the sidelines of Fresno City College. I know you can't speak about specific players, but what is that potential pipeline? What can that do for this program to get those Rams in?
Well, you know, we have a couple of them already on the team right now. You know, that's one thing. And again, I'm still getting accustomed to it, but being in California here, you have 60+ junior colleges along with the high level of high school football here. So you do have kind of another resource that you can utilize. There's really 3 of them. There's the portal, there's junior college, and then there's high school recruiting. You know, and again, a lot of those kids that go to Fresno City, I think, have aspirations of being a Bulldog at some point. And so the coaches over there do a great job. There's a couple former players that are on their staff. And so it was good for me to get over there and see a good game, well coached. And again, we got to make sure that we cover the valley. That we got to make sure that we take care of home first, and Fresno City's part of that.
And speaking of coaches, since we last saw you, Jeff Tedford was announced that he's going to be joining the Ring of Honor. I know it's not this game, but can you speak to what his impact is on Bulldog football?
Well, you know, just the history. A former player has coached here as an assistant, as a head football coach. You really go back to some of the memorable moments of Bulldog football. Coach Tedford's part of that. He's kind of the common thread to it. He's been unbelievably supportive to me. I hear from him often. It could be a quick text, a quick phone call. He gives me a heads up on things just to, as I continue to navigate the season, continue to navigate, you know, the community of Fresno and the Red Wave. You know, he's been tremendous, and so duly, you know, excited for him because he deserves it. Again, like I said, has had a ton of success and a big part of what this program is and what it stands for.
Coach, your defense forced 4 turnovers against Hawaii, and then you watch them this weekend go out and your quarterback torches Air Force's defense for almost 500 yards passing. What really worked? What was your game plan going into the game?
Hi, you guys are asking me a lot of hard questions about a game that happened a long time ago. I think we had a really good plan. Our kids understood it. They played at a high level. I think the other thing that was critical is we were able to get that quarterback off his spot. So we had good understanding of what he was trying to accomplish during the course of the game. Our defensive line, even though I think we had 2 or 3 sacks during that game, but I thought we impacted him from a, you know, just pocket collapsing at different times. The ball had to come out quick, maybe off rhythm, off his back foot, whatever it might be.
And then, just to add on to that, Kavion Thunderbird, he didn't really get a lot of snaps against Kansas, but he's come in and really
Yep.
been an anchor for this defense. How much have you seen his growth throughout the season?
Well, that was one of those things that we, intentionally, purposely did early. He split time, in that first game, hadn't necessarily declared himself as a starter. And so, as he continues to improve, the following week, I think we played Southern. We had someone get kicked out for targeting. So all of a sudden, the body of work had to grow. And then the following week, he got kicked out for targeting. And so, it's been up and down a little bit. But one thing that Kavion's done, he's continued to be steady. He's continued to dive in. He's done a really good job. Coach Bresky deserves a lot of the credit because he does a great job in the meeting room. I sit in those meetings a lot. I'm around that group a lot because I enjoy what they do. I think they're an integral part of what we do defensively. And it's good to see him playing at a high level.
One more question, Coach. You mentioned how you know Coach pretty well. Coach Choate.
Yeah.
He'll have the team playing hard no matter what. What is your relationship with Coach Choate?
I have had the opportunity to compete against him a little bit. I've got to know him a little bit more at some Mountain West meetings. Probably, defensive guy similar to myself. Wants to have a certain characteristic of his football team, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, talk about Ryan Wilson real quick for me, if you got it.
Yeah.
His instincts. He seems to be really kind of like a spark plug for the secondary and the way he plays. What have you seen? He started the last couple of games for you guys.
Right, he's playing at a high level. Isn't it exciting when a senior, is playing his best football his last year? And that's what I get. That's what makes me excited. Is again a fifth or maybe a sixth year player coming back, having to learn a new system, buying in, and all of a sudden now seeing the fruits of his labor, the hard work, the effort, the energy that he's put into this program, and now making plays for us, and being and again, don't take away his value on special teams right now. So he's really, he's a dual role player for us. So excited about it. Excited, got the opportunity to meet his parents in Hawaii. Tell you, two parents that are super excited about his role and what he's doing right now.
In the evaluation of the season, as you go through these games, tendencies start to come up in terms of how you call plays, how plays are
Sure.
designed, everything like that. Do you look at and evaluate it yourself as you go through 5 games of
Yep.
trying to change the tendencies or where you see your own tendencies?
Yeah, that was when I refer to self-scout, that was everything that you're talking about right there, is backfield sets, formations, down and distance tendencies, personnel tendencies, all those things that we were trying to, really last Monday, Tuesday, we tried to dive into those things and see if there were some things. And of course, there always are. Coaches, we kind of become, we get horse blinders on. We don't think anyone else is noticing things, but it's good when we can have, a chance to kind of decompress and look at the big picture and see if there's things that we're giving away.
And then lastly, when it comes to talking about turnovers, everything like that, forced fumble, I think you guys got your first fumble last week in Hawaii. When it comes to attacking the football, we've seen a lot of emphasis on the top level as well in the NFL. A lot of guys are attacking a little bit more. Do you see a change in the way people are tackling and attacking the football when it comes to the ball carrier?
I think ball security is at an all-time high right now from an offensive standpoint. The quickest way to lose games is to lose the turnover battle. I think if you're -1, you lose about 60% of your games, and then of course it just exponentially grows. If you're -2, -3, and it's a huge tool. If you can get the ball on the ground, you can create extra possessions for your team by creating takeaways. You're hard to beat, and so I think every day that's one of the first things we work on. We have a takeaway circuit that we do before even a walkthrough, so we make it a priority every day we get out to practice.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
Thanks, Coach.
Awesome. You guys have a great week.
Thank you.
See you this weekend.